Hi,
Hello.
Alvin.
I'm great. I hope you're doing well tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling really great. Especially, I'm going to be talking to you today.
Yeah, I was actually in worrying a little bit because I don't know how to send a request because there's no option to send to. So I'm very glad that you were able to send one. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And before we proceed, let me just greet everyone who are joining with us tonight and will be watching our interview. I know many are glad, many requested for you to be interviewed, of course, because you are clearly one of the heavy favorites for Miss Supranational 2021.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wait, let me just position myself
And
because I
oh,
can see uh,
yes,
a bit cropped. Sorry. Okay.
it's okay.
All right.
And before we proceed as well, let me go ahead and greet you a belated happy birthday because it was your birthday days ago, right? Happy birthday to you,
Yes. Thank
Jihan.
you. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Now let's officially begin our interview. So everybody knows you already because you're a famous personality in your country, but we will still do it in a normal way. So why don't you start introducing yourself, your age, educational background, and everything else that we need to know about you?
Sure, and I'm pretty sure not everybody knows me. So for those who drops into this live and ask like who, well, hi there. My name is JIHANE ALMIRA CHEDID. I'm currently 21 years old. I just turned 21, and I'm representing Indonesia in Miss Supranational 2020's event. And talking about why I'm Indonesian and I look like this, it's because I'm biracial. My father is Lebanese and my mother is Indonesian, and I'm very proud to say that I'm born and raised in Java, Central Java, from Indonesia. Yes, talking about my educational background, I started school in Singapore International School, Semarang, until I transferred to Jakarta. I started a little homeschooling just because there's gonna be a little session about this because I was insecure. That's why I went into a homeschool just to add friends. And yeah, I began my school for a little bit and then I moved to Jakarta because I wanted to pursue my dreams in the acting or film industry, which is going to be another part of my story until I finally am here as Putri Indonesia Pariwisata 2020 or Miss Supranational Indonesia 2020.
Very good. Thank you for sharing all of those. I'm really excited to know more about you, but that introduction is already something. Quite a glimpse of what we will be knowing more and what we will know about you as we go along with this discussion. And I have already mentioned it earlier that you are an actress in your country and you started doing it since the age of 11. Well, that's what I have read online, so you can just confirm it later. So what's the best thing about being an actress, and tell us something more about it as well.
Sure. Well, this is going to be a little storytelling and my perception about acting. Well, I've experienced it myself and also from some mentors, acting mentors, they told me that acting is not about being someone else. It's about picking up the characteristics you have in yourself for a certain role, or, you have to know how to dig yourself and you have to know yourselves thoroughly. So this is a few things that people mispercept. They think that being an actress or being an actor is about being someone else. That's why a few people says that no wonder you can become a beauty queen or you can participate in a beauty pageant because of course you just have to act feminine. That's not something like that, but maybe that's going to be another session again. And yeah, well, acting allows me to understand myself further and into within. You know, sometimes I have this certain role that I think, no, this is not me. And then the casting director or the coaches, they would say that there's that in you. Just look for it. And then, when I get home and think about the casting before or the discussion we had about the certain role, I just make a space or make room for myself to think like, really is there? And then like I start to evaluate myself and then I understand myself further. All right, this kind of trait happens when I react to this kind of thing. So, if you try to elaborate a person or yourself further, you are a lot of things. You're not just a person who's I'm a tomboy or I'm a feminine or I'm graceful or I'm this. No, there is no one adjective to define you. It's going to be a lot more, to be honest. So that's interesting. I think that's a little bit um, perplexing, but I really like knowing myself that way. And then aside from that, there's this thing about acting that keeps the heat of my empathy and my sensitivity to spread or generate to the people around me and also my loved ones. That's maybe a little bit correlation. There's a correlation about this to my social work as well. So yeah, there's a lot of additional values from acting that I could apply to myself or to my daily life.
Thank you very much. And let me just ask you this. Let me just ask you this. As an actress, I know you have watched a lot of movies already. So let me just ask you, what's your favorite movie?
Oh,
And how did it inspire you as a person?
Trust me.
I mean, I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not sure if you can answer that because there's a lot of great movies, but I'm just trying here.
Yeah, sure. Well, this is also an interesting question, also from you and also from a few acting or film people. They ask me these kind of stuff, and I can't even answer them because I don't really watch a lot of movies. And I swear, I don't really watch movies. That's why sometimes when this question popped up, I'm like, oh no. And then I'm trying to, it's spinning right now. But yeah, if I'm supposed to choose, oh my god, this is going to be very basic, but The Matrix. Yeah, I really like The
That's a
Matrix.
good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but there's another one, but I can't really explain the whole thing because I have to rewatch it for sure. But I really liked, see, I can't even remember. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And it's a very long title too, so
Yeah.
thank you very much. Yeah, I know it's actually a very difficult question to be honest, and especially when there's a lot of great movies being shown every time, so it's okay. We truly understand that. So thank you very much for sharing. I mean, the two movies that you shared are just two great movies also. Thank you.
Thank you.
And okay, let me just go ahead and proceed to the next question. Being an actress, what made you shift and decide to join Putri Indonesia? Because it seems like acting and pageant is two different things. So what made you decide to join Putri Indonesia?
All right. Maybe I wouldn't say shift, like I'm going to forget or put aside the acting or the film industry thing. But, you know, sometimes opportunities, they don't just come and knock on your bedroom door like, hey, I'm here. So you have to look for a way to come to life, you know, like what you want, your motivation in the world. How is it supposed to implement to yourself? So I have one thing about myself why I joined or why I'm in the acting career or why I wanted to become an athlete. There's a story behind it, to be honest. So one thing, the one big thread, one big red thread, it would be I want to make my country proud. That I can answer very well, because why I wanted to become an athlete at first or why I wanted to join the military, it's because I can imagine how proud I would be to wear the uniform that represents Indonesia. That's one. But these are the things that I can really go through because my parents, of course, and I'm the only child, so I have to listen to my parents and, you know, fulfill what they want, at least for now, until maybe 2 to 3 years and more, hopefully. And why I wanted to become an actress, it's because, you know, sometimes I reminisce and then I just imagine I'll be there in the promo tour saying that, in Hollywood, saying that, yeah, I come from Indonesia. That would be so cool. I was like, that's gonna be really, really cool. But then it doesn't come instantly. So especially in the film industry, there's gonna be lots of competitors. And there's a lot of people who's very skillful and very potential, and you can't just think as you're maybe a few things that you're pretty or you have a good body and then you're just gonna get it. No, it's not like that. So it takes time. And then the opportunity came and my contracts were all finished. In that moment, which was last year, maybe around October, if I'm not mistaken, everything was just over. And then suddenly I got an information about the Pemilihan Putri Indonesia of 2020. I was like, maybe this is my shot. Maybe it could be answered through that. And well, thank goodness here I am, and I'm very humbled that I get to be in this position that lots of people also wanted. And yeah, that's why I don't want to make a useless effort that I'm here and then I'm not going to do anything. So this is, I'm going to make myself move further forward with my title I have today as Putri Indonesia Pariwisata and Miss Supranational Indonesia.
And thank you so much for sharing that, because based on what you have experienced, it seems that it was more of a sudden decision for you to join Putri Indonesia. So how do you think is the preparation for you? Because there are some contestants who are really preparing years. I mean, they set goals that after 5 years, they will join this pageant. But in your case, it was more of, it's like everything happened for a reason for you. How did you prepare for that, for Putri Indonesia? In just a short time, you're already there competing.
Yeah, well, thank goodness I had this experience a few years back. I joined this competition kind of thing. I had, I think 2 or 3. Well, it wasn't a beauty pageant. It was more of a, it was for a magazine. So, but then the treatment was nearly the same, where you have to register, and then they're going to probably judge you by some certain standards they're looking for, and then you're supposed to be there in front of the camera. So there's a little bit similarity where I can find that here today. And also as an actress, I also face the camera or talk to people a lot, and then I approach people a lot and have interactions with quite you know, important people as well. So it wasn't really a new thing within that sector. But I had to soak my brain in a bucket of pageant knowledge. That's what's new for me, because as you know, I'm a rational and frontal person when I talk, and I'm just being logical, man. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just being logical. Don't you think that's, I mean, isn't it common sense? Sometimes. But then I realized it doesn't work like that in the pageant world, because, you know, you have to be neutral as possible. You have to sound, or you have to be very wise and mature. You can't just talk depending or relying on what you think is right, because sometimes you think it's right, but not the others, you know. So these are the things that I had to adjust a little. So that was the hardest part. But the rest was just, you know, a little bit tiring with the heels every day, with heavy dresses, and then, you know, evening gowns and all those stuff. That was the second challenge, but it's okay. I'll get a hang of it. Yeah. So that's,
yes, and go ahead.
Yeah. Those are the lessons, or the, you know, the drills I had to go through preparing into Putri Indonesia or the pageant world.
Yes, thank you very much. And in connection to that question as well, I believe that you really did very well, and I really didn't know that your preparation was that short compared to other girls who are really preparing for a long time. Because what happened here is that when you were announced, when the contestants for Putri Indonesia were announced, you became one of the heavy favorites to win Putri Indonesia. And personally, you were also my #1 in my final prediction to win. So I'm not sure if you are seeing these leaderboards, these predictions or something, but I'm pretty sure you have an idea that you are one of the favorites. So for someone like you who hasn't really prepared long for pageantry, how did you feel knowing that you were one of the favorites to win?
Frankly speaking, Alvin, because I wasn't originally from the pageantry world, or I was really into it before, when I saw these pass by, I'm like, oh, cool. I swear I was just like, oh, okay, like, oh, that's nice. So, and then my friends or my fans or even my mom like, hey, they put you on the first ranking. I'm like, oh, does that mean anything? I was like, no, 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 you have to appreciate it because like this and that, this and that. Oh, okay, okay. And then like I tried to understand the system, and then like in the morning, I could because I still sleep with my mom in one bed. So when she wakes up first, and then she goes on YouTube, and then I hear, hey, it's Alvin from the Philippines. I'm like, Mom, who? It's Alvin from the Philippines. Like, what is it? Like, hey, you're ranked #1. I'm like, oh, okay. But then I just woke up, so I was like, okay. And then like I tried to rewatch it, and then like, thank you. Like, okay, I'm starting to understand it, and then like I understand that lots of people are putting hopes on me, so I have to prove that I'm actually capable and I'm deservable to be why they put me on the first. So this is kind of the thing that makes me even more motivated to move forward again, or to upgrade, or to even sometimes I do the studies too. Maybe not about the pageants, or not about how I'm supposed to change the world, or how I'm supposed to upgrade on my social works, but I just learn with what people want, and then maybe how I'm supposed to respond to people, and that why this person is commenting about this one thing, and then like I try to research about why I'm ranked first, and like those kind of things. Although it's just like a piece of one and a piece of one, but then once I put it into one table, it becomes a book. So that's a whole other level of learning. So yeah, I'm like very humbled with all these people, especially you as well, for supporting me and then putting me on the first ranking or top list. And like I'm very humbled and overwhelmed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just a random question. Does it put a pressure on you that you are being considered as one of the heavy favorites, that people might be expecting too much?
At first, because as I told you, I didn't really understand the system, I was like, okay, understand, okay, like I can go through it, it's okay, I got it. But then after times go by, and then I start to see more finalists as well. They're finally showing what they got, and then like, because everyone's deservable, so how am I supposed to, what the hopes of Indonesians, or the hope of maybe the world, maybe they put me on the first list, or ranked first. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why, and then sometimes if I cannot find why, I have to look for it, or if I know why, I have to elevate this value or this quality they believe in me. So that's kind of the pressure. That's the type of pressure I get, not because like, oh, I have to win because I'm being first, so I have to maintain myself to be first. No, it's not like that, but I just have to prove them that they put me on the first rank, so I have to make sure that you were not wrong to put me on the first. Like that.
Thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. And it's not only me. There's a lot of leaderboards as well that put you on first. And this is actually the reason why many people, why I myself always keep on saying that you were one of the heavy favorites for Supranational, because not only me, but I'm watching other leaderboards as well where you are topping the list. So I think that's very, very interesting. And the pageant is going to happen soon, so I'm pretty sure you are preparing so much for it now that you have a lot of time to prepare. So thank you so much for all of those. Now, in connection as well to Putri Indonesia pageant, what were your initial thoughts when you were crowned as Miss Supranational Indonesia? And as what you've mentioned, you were not really that familiar in the world of pageantry. So I would love to know your thoughts about Miss Supranational. You're going to Miss Supranational. So what are your thoughts about that when you got the title?
Yeah. Well, because I joined the nationals, which was Putri Indonesia, Pemilihan Putri Indonesia, and I was crowned as Putri Indonesia Pariwisata, which means maybe I could say something that has to do with tourism. When I was first crowned, and Kak Jessica was my, basically senior, she told me there's going to be lots of traveling. So in my mind, my initial thought at first was, yes, this is the time where my traveling journey begins. That was it first, until Corona happened. great. And then everything is banned, travel banned here and there. And then we're supposed to stay home, lockdown, and all those stuff. So I'm like, maybe not now. Maybe not. No. Stay home, girl. So I did. But then it's challenging because I have to look for a way to, make use of my title purposefully from home. I mean, like, how am I supposed to do that without traveling? But then that makes me, turn my mind and then look for a way, girl, read your books and then do your research, do this, do that. Okay, well, so my only friend was the internet and books by then. But then I realized after it was a little bit adjusted with the regulations and all this and all that, I have more time to focus with Miss Supranational, with my preparations. And then I realized too that, although this lockdown is happening or this corona is happening, this pandemic is happening, it does not mean that you're going to be stuck with what you're supposed to do only by work, or you're just supposed to keep yourself safe by staying home. No, it's not like that, because I feel like, we as a person have to give hope to others, maybe to those who lost work, maybe those who happen to, got coronavirus in them, or maybe those who have survived, or maybe those who have lost a family member. You have a way to give them hope, maybe from home, maybe by dropping off to them and seeing them, but of course with the health protocol going on, with the mask and then with all this and that. And I could see that that's happening also with my social work. And I feel that I can still move forward. I can still implement the things that we should be doing, although we have this this situation or condition going on. And besides that, it means if I can go out, I can prepare for Miss Supranational even better, and it's supposed to run even smoothly. So with Miss Supranational, I had to, of course, prepare more things than I prepared for Putri Indonesia, Putri Indonesia. So, it's a little bit of mixes of my activities on a daily basis, my social work, preparing for Miss Supranational. It's a mixture of everything.
Yes, thank you. And I am pretty sure that you're going to love Miss Supranational because it's one of the best pageants in the world. And let's be honest here, Miss Supranational actually do one of the best production when it comes to pageantry. I mean, the stage, the entire show and everything.
Yeah.
And you'll be flying to Poland. I mean, how amazing is that? I mean, Poland is a beautiful country, so I'm pretty sure you will love Miss Supranational once it starts to begin. I mean, once the competition starts, I mean.
Yeah, of course. I can't imagine the stage. The first time I watched the, when I was doing my research with Miss Supranational, YouTube videos, also on Instagram, like, this is spectacular stage, man. Like, this is, all the lighting is like the spotlight on you, and then with all this dresses, and then with all this lighting, and also, it's just a very, it's a beautiful production. It's true, just what you said. It's a beautiful production. It's a show. It's basically
so thank you so much.
You won't be feeling like you're in a competition, I think.
Exactly, and I really love how it goes into not only entertainment but into pageantry with a cause. But I love how they highlight each contenders during the show. So that's one thing that you will surely love. And now you have already talked about going out and doing social works during your time as Miss Supranational Indonesia 2020. And let's be honest here as well, that you are actually one of the most active queens when it comes to social work. And you are an advocate for hashtag Act Your Thoughts. So could you tell us more about it?
All right, let's go back to the history of Act Your Thoughts. All right. Well, I've loved charity work or social work even since I was young, because my parents had raised me that way, where once a month I'm supposed to go to an orphan home or a foster home to, give out or spend time there. Even my school also implements those kind of activities regularly. So it's not something new that I created to join the pageantry world, but entering a pageant industry or a pageant contest, you have to have a title for your work, you know, so people, it's going to be easier for people to catch the path or follow what you're trying to influence or do, so that people understand, like, what are you trying to do? And this was challenging too, because lots of people didn't understand what Act Your Thoughts meant. And it was on my comments like, what does this mean? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to show us? Okay, so here it is. Act Your Thoughts is a concept or an idea. It's an idea. It's an idea of a mindset, to be honest. So it's not about going to an orphan home or going to a foster home. No, it's something that you have in your mind and you act it out. It's not only that you keep it in mind and then you just leave it there and just wonder when it's going to happen, because miracles doesn't happen if you don't try to work for it. If you don't work hard, you don't have integrity, or you don't have discipline for that, it's not going to come true. So this why I put this in my social activity as a title, because sometimes people wish or hope they can be a hero. They wish that I want to change the world. Yeah, but what are you going to do? Like, for instance, this was a discussion I had with a friend. We saw a homeless on the street. And then a few, my friend was saying that, oh, I feel bad for that person. Like, yeah, me too. Have you done something to those kind of people before? I was like, well, you know, I don't know. I don't remember. That was my friend speaking. And then like, oh, okay, why don't you try to give attention to them, or maybe just get a piece of your cracker or something, then give it to that person. Maybe they'll appreciate what you're trying to give. And then like, but I opened it already. It's okay. It means that you're sharing with them. Isn't that a better thing? And then she's like, now just do it next time. Oh yeah, keep procrastinating and that's not gonna happen. Trust me. I was like, so I went down and then I tried to give, either if you have a change, you have a dime, you have food, you have candy, give it to them. You know, it's not the thing that you give. It's the thing that, oh, this person actually pays attention to me. There's still someone who cares about me. So it's the concept, not the thing that you give. And that's the kind of Act Your Thoughts I have. But for another people, you know, sometimes people think when they go to a place, it's a beautiful place, but it's dirty. What can you do? Try to make a movement, maybe. Or maybe you can try to start with yourself and don't throw your, just because it's dirty already, you just throw it there because it's already there. So you just throw your trash there. No, you keep it in your pocket. Maybe if you try to inform people, hey guys, don't throw your trash there. Maybe tomorrow is going to be clean, you know? So what I mean is, don't rant. Don't just complain. Don't just protest. But start with yourself. If you think you can make the world better. You can improve someone's life. You can make the environment cleaner. You can prevent global warming. Start with yourself. So basically, that's the ideation of Act Your Thoughts. And people can just follow. I hope people can follow this kind of movement accordingly, with what kind of whatever Act Your Thoughts they have. It's something like that.
Exactly. That's actually the main point. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about your Act Your Thoughts movement, because it's really true. People in general are really good at saying things that they wanted to do. But what really matters are your actions. So that's really, really important, because, again, we can just say whatever we want, that we wanted to do this, we wanted to change the world and everything. But if there's no action, then nothing's going to happen. So that's perfect. That's really great. And we have been a witness to that, especially to the people who are following you on social media and who have been a witness to all of the social works that you've done. I'm pretty sure that they have seen everything that you did, and pretty sure they're amazed by what you're doing.
Thank you.
So keep on doing that, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alvin.
Now, you're welcome. The tagline of Miss Supranational is aspirational, inspirational. Now, as Jihan, what do you aspire to be?
What do I aspire to be? It would be improving my personal growth. Because as I mentioned before, maybe with a little of Act Your Thoughts, if you understand yourself better, if you start everything from yourself, That's the time you get to generate the best qualities you have to people. Maybe if my quality that I want to generate or radiate to people, it would be giving hope. If I have this personal growth composed, or I have it elevated, then I can be giving more hope in a better, in a, in by whole, not just a little piece. When I'm still, for instance, I'm still crippled, or I'm still broken, and then I'm trying to heal people. You can't do that if you don't heal yourself first. Something like that. So I would aspire to give a boost on my personal growth.
Very good. Very good answer, because you always have to never stop growing, especially in yourself.
Yeah.
That's something that we need to teach, not only, I mean, that's something that we need to teach to especially to the young people of today. For the inspirational part, what is it about you that you can consider as inspiring, especially to the young people?
Okay. The inspirational part of me, it would be, I have lots of dreams. I wanted, like I mentioned before, I wanted to become an athlete. I wanted to become a soldier. I wanted to become an actress. And I happened to become a beauty queen. You know, these things is out of control. I didn't manage myself. Okay, I'm gonna start with being an athlete, and then I'm going to continue with becoming a soldier, and then tomorrow I'm gonna, join an acting class. No, it didn't go like that. It means that I have lots of dream, and I can see little by little comes true. So I want girls, women, people to not give limits or barriers to themselves. If you have a wish, if you have a dream, you have a goal, fight for it. Who knows, it's all gonna come at once. Although, you have to be wise to choose which opportunity to pick on first, in case they all just they stand up right in front of you, and then you have to choose which one comes first because it's all in front of you. But yeah, that kind of happened to me. So it was quite challenging too. But that's the time you get to understand yourself even further, because you get even wiser to choose which one is going to be more impactful for your life or for your fulfillment. So I want people to get inspired. I hope people can get inspired with my journey, with my life process, that not everything you want is impossible. And you can, if you want to, you can fulfill each and every dreams you have inside you at once if you want. But sometimes people just, procrastinate, or people think that they're incapable. So they think that, what, never mind. You know what, I'm just going to stay home and finish my studies. You know what, I'm going to, I'll just put my academic side later, and I'll just work first. When you can actually do that all together if you want, and if you know what your potential is actually are actually there. Those kind of things. Because I went through a lot, and it's gonna be a long story to be honest, because I went through bullies too. I got bullied a lot. I get I get finger pointed too, and then I get lots of obstacles, to be honest. That's why I feel really grateful to be in this position today. Like, oh, maybe that was my lesson. Maybe that was like God's drill for me to see that, do you have what God? Do you? If you do, then I'll give you a reward later. So I feel like this is, even today, I feel like it's a reward that I'm here. I'm sitting here today with all this on my shoulders. And yeah, I'm very grateful. That's why I want to share even further to the people maybe who need stories from me, or maybe they want to have a perspective of mine to, understand their story instead, or something. I just really want to inspire people with my story.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for sharing that. And one thing that I really wanted to say as well is that never ever stop doing something that you think is inspiring, because other people may not be vocal, but we have to understand that there are people who are secretly inspired by you. They're not just vocal in saying that, but as long as you keep on doing that, there will always be people that will be inspired. So always keep on working.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Now, let me just give you some pageant questions here before as we proceed to the next round. So my first question would be, I'm pretty sure, I think you have already answered this a little bit earlier, but I will ask you still. Can you name one event in your life where you told yourself that you are proud to be an Indonesian?
Yes, it would be, I think you know when this is, but it's going to be the 6th March of 2020. I got crowned as Putri Indonesia Pariwisata and Miss Supranational Indonesia because I felt really proud that I can finally be officially and validated by the people of your country and be called the name of your country later in the international stage or in the eye of the world. Man, that's gonna be a privilege. I feel like, yes, it's my dream again is coming true from something that is not even expected by me. This is unpredictable, to be honest, because when I joined this competition, first, like you said, I had my preparation in a short time, and I'm not from the pageant world, and I know I have this passion to, I'm very passionate about my country, so I felt like my wishes are being answered by that moment. And again, I'm Indonesian, being called the name of my country, Indonesia, in the eye of the world.
Very good. That's actually a really good answer. And that's really an amazing, because once you go to pageantry, especially to an international pageant, it is really a great honor that you will not be called by your name, but you will be called by your country. You are representing your people and the entire nation. So thank you so much. That's a good question. Now, that's a good answer, I mean. Next question. What do you think is the most challenging part of being a beauty queen, which is very applicable to you since you're new in the world of pageantry? And what is the best way, do you think, the best way to overcome it?
Okay. The most challenging part would be by appearance. Because I have been a person who is very carefree when I go everywhere, as in when I talk to, sometimes I just talk to anybody without knowing the audience sometimes. And, sometimes I don't get to relate from a beauty queen and me as a person or as an actress before, because most of the artists most of the artists, they tend to just say whatever is in their mind with respect, okay, without wisely. So it doesn't mean that they just yap or they just talk whatever. I mean, they can just say things, but as a beauty queen, you have to know your audience, whether it's applicable to them or not, whether it's relevant for you to say these kind of things to this certain people. That was one challenge. Second is with the heels every single day. I had to wear heels every day, and then I can't feel my legs, but okay, it's all right with lessons, with when you adjust every single day with heels, and then the next time, sometimes when you take off your heels, you feel like, I feel weird, I feel awkward without my heels. So practices makes you better. Practices gets you the best results you would ever, or maybe you don't expect. So yeah, practices. That's one way, or my weapon to overcome everything.
Thank you so much for that answer. I really appreciate that. Now, when it comes to pageant questions like this, for example, people usually expect a very serious answer. But in your case, about wearing those heels, that's actually a very good answer, because that is very true. And there's always a lesson to everything, to very simple things. And as what you said, it's more on practice, and it's something that we can learn and apply in our lives. And because when it comes to these pageant questions, usually some of the fans are just focusing only on the very serious way of answering, but they don't know that in these simple examples that you provide, for example, like wearing heels, there are some great lessons to that, which is why I appreciate your answer, because it is where your personality comes out, the real you comes out, the honesty in you comes out, because that's what you are experiencing. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you for
And I'm pretty
questioning
sure
that
many
too.
can Yes, and many people, I'm pretty sure that many people can relate to. Now, my last question, pageant question would be, not only in Miss Supranational, but also in other pageants. It is very important, especially I myself have been judged many times to other pageants as well. It's very important for us to know why you, because there must be a purpose on why you should be crowned as the winner. So in your case, why should you be the next Miss Supranational?
Why I should be the next Miss Supranational? I see, I mean, before that, every single contestant I find is deservable for them to win the crown. However, I feel like I can resemble, or I see the resemblance of the tagline from Miss Supranational, or what they're looking for in me. For instance, you gotta be natural, or you have to be, you have to be approachable, cooperative, and all those kind of stuff. I feel like, oh, I see that in me somehow. Besides that, I feel like the movements I make, or the inspiration that I have in a person, or the values I happen to have as a person, I really wish with the platform of Miss Supranational, I get to have the privilege to share it to the world globally, not only in Indonesia. So if I happen to win Miss Supranational, I will be very honored, and I would be very happy to be sharing all this life process I have to everybody. And I really want to influence everyone by giving hope with whatever they believe. And whatever they believe is actually, it can be true when it's given the right track or given the right path, when it's guided better. And I really wish that I could guide in a way, of course, with the guidance of Miss Supranational organization too, of course. But don't get me wrong, if I don't win or if I don't get the crown, it's not going to stop me to influence everyone, because Miss Supranational is already something that I look up to. And I feel like with Miss Supranational organization, or just Miss Supranational on its own, I feel like I have a big responsibility to overcome or to fulfill what they're looking for as a Miss Supranational, or me as a person on my own. So yeah, I really wish that the platform of Miss Supranational would be willing to give the crown to me, and I could inspire everyone even further.
Thank you so much for that answer. And what's amazing about you, and the one thing that we appreciate about you, is that you have already done so much even before you got the Miss Supranational Indonesia title. And I'm talking about the social works, all the helping and all the activities that you've been doing to help and inspire people. And your reach went bigger when you were crowned as Miss Supranational Indonesia. So it would be a pleasure for us who witnessed your works in social works, that if you will be crowned as Miss Supranational 2021, we have the confidence that you can do so much more in a much bigger platform. So, which is why we are here supporting you, because we know what you are capable of, and I'm pretty sure that there are still things that you can do and things that can surprise us even more, which we are very excited to see. So again, thank you very much, and we are so happy that we will be here supporting you in your journey to Miss Supranational 2021.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Yes, of course we will. Now, before I proceed to my last question, I will be asking you to do this as well. I have asked Ayuma to do this too, but in your case, Miss Supranational is also doing the same way of introducing the contestants. I mean, the same way of introducing themselves when they are in the competition, their name, and then the name of their country.
Okay, and
So we would love to hear you do your Yeah, we would love to hear you do your introduction as well.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. JIHANE ALMIRA CHEDID, Indonesia!
Thank you very much for doing that. And you know, many people will obviously record that part again and, you know, spread it everywhere in social media. So thank you very much for doing that. And before we end this, your final message to the people who will be supporting you until the finale of Miss Supranational 2021, or potentially be your crowning moment too?
All right. Of course, it's going to be an eternal gratitude for me to give out to people. I would really like to say thank you to everyone that has been supporting me until today. You, Alvin, everyone around the world, those who have been spending their efforts and time on making the top list, to everyone, not just me. I really like to say thank you. And untuk pageant lovers Indonesia, dia ingin berterima kasih sangat-sangat besar karena teman-teman semua sudah mendukung kami, sudah mendukung seluruh beauty queen yang ada di Indonesia secara adil, wisely, and very lovely. And of course, that would be the final message I have for everyone. Of course, with the biggest gratitude I have to everyone. And not to forget that I want everyone to be hopeful, to be healthy, and to be unapologetically themselves at all times. No matter who you are, men, women, children, youth, whoever it is, be unapologetically yourself at all times.
That's a very beautiful message. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that ends our interview. So thank you very much for allowing me to have this interview. I'm always very thankful to the organization for allowing me to do this. And it's just a pleasure talking to you. And I just had a moment before with Ayuma, and now we are here. I truly enjoyed this moment. So thank you very much.
So did
And
I. Thank you, Alvin.
thank you very much. It's really great to know more about you as a contender as we watch your journey to Miss Supranational 2021. So thank you very much. I will be the one who's going to leave first because this is your live. So again, thank you very much. And hopefully we will be seeing for the third time and hopefully next time with
Yes.
Ayusa as well. Thank you so much. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone, especially for the Putri Indonesia and to everyone who watched our live interview today. Thank you so much for the support all the time. And we wish you the best, Jihan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alvin. Stay safe and have a good evening and good rest.
You too, and good night, everyone.
Bye,
Bye.
Alvin.